Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace. I'm sorry I kind of quiet for a while. I was just trying to set my computer next to me so I can see your comments and who actually joined me, because when I doing it on the phone, it's not very easy to see everything. So everyone is here who always, every Saturday, every Thursday, coming at the same time. So hello Renee, Elizabeth, Kelly, and Jackie. Hello. First time visitor Jackie O'Neill. I have somebody else with the same last name, a lady also visiting lessons. So anyway, today we are going to learn how to crochet background netting. We will make samples from the book. This one is the simplest, the easiest one. And it's very, very regular, as basically all grounding, as it's ground, they call ground, or background netting, we call it in more modern times. Also, it can be, in some books, you can find the name for the ground as trellis. There's another name. So this simplest ground, the picture of it, I believe, is on page 30, and the description on page 29. This is a very simple one. Of course, when we will crochet and connect with background netting motifs, we will not crochet a straight rectangular or square piece. It's a totally different lesson, a totally different way of doing it. But how to crochet netting, I will show you how to do this one today. And also we will make few other things. This is edge, or in the book they call it footing. Or footing, yes, first and second footing. This is the simplest footings, like that. And what they are for? Footing in background netting and in Irish crochet, I would say, is used to finish your work. So, for example, you will make, I have few pictures of a collar. And, for example, you finished your background netting, connecting motifs, and now you have to finish the edges. Majority of work you can find that will look with scallops, right, like right here on the bottom, on the other edge, and sometimes you will see this kind of edge. In this book, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace, they call it footing, and this kind of edge is scallops. So footing also here, as you can see at the very edge, and then decorated with scallops. In these lessons, starting from today, I will make one sample of ground or background netting and one example of the edge. I don't specify footing or scallops. I just call my finishing part of work in Irish crochet when I make it, and in lessons that I teach, I call it edge, because this is actually the edge of your work that you're going to decorate. So at first we will go and crochet today this simple background netting. You will need, of course, all background netting is made with fine thread. I chose thread number, I believe it's 20, and I will take a small piece for padding cord or foundation cord. And I will, in a book they asking about taking the cord, single cord. I will fold my in half and use double cord because my thread is really fine. And I will use the same color. And also I will crochet with the same thread. So it's just for practicing, nothing else. So I will just show you how to make this. Well, I don't know why I cut this right now. This is I will need for how to make footing. But for the background netting, just pick up thread, any kind. If you will make an entire project, I will not recommend to use number 20. Of course, it's too thick. For background netting, you're supposed to use thread number 80 or 100 or even finer thread. Unfortunately, nobody make finer thread than 100. So for all your work, lace work, please use for netting, for ground, use thread number 100. It's very fine thread. But for the lesson, I will use thread number 20 so that you could see what is it that I am making here. So to start, all you have to do, crochet a chain of any number of stitches you will need. We're just making sample, so it does not matter. Let's make some piece. I will not even count. I just make sure that I will make long enough chain for the lesson. You can make chain of 25 or 35 stitches. It does not matter. I'm not counting. I'm just going and making a little piece for you to show how to make this netting. It's a very simple netting, a very easy one, the easiest. So here I have a chain, and they don't specify the number of chain stitches you need, and don't really worry about how much do you need, because we are not going to make in Irish crochet little sweeps like that. If you will do a collar, of course you will need to know the amount of stitches for the collar, but this is all depends on the size of the collar or the size of a neckline for your finished product, or for example you need the netting and the edges to crochet starting from the very bottom of the top. So I probably don't explain it very clear. Let me make a little drawing for you. So, for example, when you have a small project, like the simplest, let's take square, and you made crochet pillow, or it's a pocket to decorate a jacket, and it's square. So when you crochet and made motifs, let's say we have motifs here, leaves, branch, connected to that flower or few flowers. So you will connect netting, right? And I will draw netting as like this. So let's assume this is our netting. We made netting between the leaves and flowers. This is our netting. But then at the very end, when everything is done, you connected your motifs with netting, now you have to decorate the edge of your work. How many chain stitches you need to make For the edge, you will have to figure out on your own. You will have to make chain to see. But for the netting, to start netting, I have a very good lesson how to start simple project for Little Potpourri pillow. And to start background netting like this, of course, you will need to know how many stitches. But you will count, decide how many stitches when you just place your chain of stitches on the project you're making. For example, it will be 20 inches, right? So you have to make sure that your chain of stitches fit those 20 inches. How many stitches it will be, I don't know, because I don't know what crochet hook you will use and what thread you will use. Okay, so does it make sense? So this is why I'm not counting stitches, and this is probably why stitches are not indicated in the book, because we're making samples. We're learning how to make background netting. So I don't know how many stitches is here. If I have extra that I don't need stitches here, and it will be a little piece hanging, we will undo this piece by pulling thread out at the end. And it's very easy to do if you didn't make a slip knot. How did I make myself dirty? Sorry. So just make a chain. Don't count how many stitches it is. I just made a piece of chain, okay? So the first row, we will have to make one treble crochet. Treble, it's double crochet in modern time. So treble crochet is in the book. So I just read it and I'm sorry. So we will have to use double crochet stitch into the 10th stitch from the hook. So we'll have to count 10th stitch and make double crochet. I think treble it's in Britain people use, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So into the 10th stitch. I also would suggest to pick up on the chain 2 strands, 2 loops. And make your double crochet stitch. So this is your first loop for your netting. So let me just a little bit come back, I will undo. So you made your chain and the first row begins with double crochet into the 10th stitch. You count 10th stitch from the hook. And I advise you to insert the hook into 2 loops of the front and back loop of stitch. Double crochet. Like this. After this is at the beginning, we made first row. After that, we will make chain 4 and then double crochet into the 4th stitch, next 4th stitch after the first double crochet stitch here. Seems to me you don't see very well, so let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so now we will repeat all the time. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, double crochet into the 4th stitch. And we counted this 4th stitch starting from last double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I pick up and insert my hook into 2 loops of stitches on of the foundation chain? Because if you will just pick up one strand, like one loop of stitch like this, it will have tendency to stretch and will not look very pretty. So this is why I pick up 2. Okay, so let's continue. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and double crochet into the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see I pick up accidentally just one stitch, one strand, and you see what happened, right? This is how stretched it is. And this will look way better. So I will go and undo it. Of course, it's a sample. I don't have to be very picky. But if you're doing some other crochet and you want it to be neat and don't have any holes in your work and have consistent, beautiful piece, then insert your hook into both loops. 2, 3, 4, and again double crochet into the fourth stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything here based on even number of stitches, 4 and 8 and 10 at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and again we go and end 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you see we have this small piece left. Of course, it will be way too many stitches here, but I will show you what I will do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stitches, and the 2 stitches or 3 are not needed at all. So what I will do, I'll just take my hook and will unravel from the back. One stitch all the time. So you cannot really pull on a strand on a thread and unravel all your work from the beginning. It will not work. So one by one you can unravel, and that's it. Now it's not going anywhere, and you don't have extra tail here. So now next row, second row. I'll turn your work and we'll chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now double crochet into the chain 4 below. You can connect both ways. You can go and crochet around like this, move your hook under the chain and crochet this way. So this is one way connecting, or you can do it this way. I will show you next time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stitches and double crochet into the chain below. Or you can go right into the middle and poke through the chain and pick up again 2 loops of the stitch below. Disadvantages and advantages of both way of connecting. This way, when you connect, your stitch will move back and forth. Probably will give flexibility to the chain, to the netting. I personally don't like to make it this way. I like to go and crochet into the specific stitch, right into the middle, and have my stitch double crochet fixed in one spot. That way my chain, my work and background netting is precisely made into one spot, if this makes sense. Also, one more thing. It does not look right now very pretty. It's supposed to be, if you can see, when I stretch it, all of them look alike and look beautiful and look like honeydew. What do you call that? Bees make the wax, and it has a special shape. Oh gosh, left my head. Ladies, help me. Honeycomb. Sorry. So this is how it will look like. It's supposed to look like a honeycomb. But when you will make your netting, of course, at first, it will not look beautiful. It's just unruly and move in different direction, as you can see. But when you will finish your work, you will wash it and then block it. And when you block it, you will have your honeycomb netting. It will look very pretty, just like right here in the middle, right in here. Okay, so let's continue. At the beginning of the row we made 8, then again we're doing 4. Again the same, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and double crochet right into the middle of chain below. I poke my stitch through. That way my double crochet is fixed in one position. But again, you can just go around like this and don't have to poke through. It's all up to you. Try both ways and see which one you like better. So all the way to the very end, everything is repetitive. You repeat the same thing throughout entire work. Every row, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, into the last now, into the last stitch right here at the very end. Actually you have to count like 2 and into the third. This is where I connected my double crochet stitch, or again instead of poking through, just go around. So now third and the rest of the rows we will make as the second. So from now on we will repeat our pattern by repeating the row 2 all the time. So you turn your work again at the end, make 8 stitches, chain of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, chain 8, and double crochet stitch right into the chain of 4 stitches below. And then again repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet stitch, and or you go and make your double crochet stitch around the chain, or poke through the chain right in the middle. This is where I go with my stitches. I go right into the middle of the chain 4, oops, and make my double crochet stitch. This is how this will look like. This netting is quite rare. I didn't see too much of it in antique lace. When I was in museum in Ireland, Shailene Museum, and then Historical Museum in Dublin, there were pieces of lace. I didn't see this background netting too often used in their work, but in this book, in the book that we're using, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace, at the very beginning of the book there is a beautiful color and color here, and you can see that the edge, the one part of the netting is what we're doing right now, this honeycomb, and the other part is, you cannot see really well here, I think it's also the same but smaller size, bigger hook here. Oh, I am mistaken, I'm not sure. Oh no, I'm sorry, this right here, it's a double netting and honeycomb here. So to give kind of I have a better picture of this somewhere, not in this book. There is another book like that you can find, and that book, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet, is a part of 3 books together. What is the comment, Kelly? Yes, you're right. If you will use 2 strands and connect into specific spot and pick up 2 strands of thread of each 2 loops. The correct way to say not 2 strands, but we insert hook into both loops of each stitch. So yes, it gives you a better and more stable background netting, I would say. So now again at the very end, so we repeat again row 2. At the very beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 stitches at the beginning. And now double crochet into the chain below. So what is that? Jackie said. Um, yeah, Jackie, you probably, if you didn't see my live videos, all of them are recorded later and they are saved by by YouTube, and they are here. I never delete my videos. I just keep them here. There are some videos are private or unlisted. They are only for paid customers for my video tutorials, and some of them from the books, from free books of charge, books that you can find online on Antique Library, like this book right now, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace. This is the book I use. I cannot fit all of this book in the screen, but you can see this book in my Facebook page. And how to find me, if you look at my previous last lesson from last week, I shared links to my Facebook page. And Facebook page was very easy to find. It's Larissa's Lace. It's at the end of lesson, I will share the page again if any of you want it. Let me just find right now, just a second. Just since Jackie is new here, I will get page for her. It's opening now, just a moment. Okay, here it is. So Larissa's Lace. I'm posting this, Jackie, for you in comments here. You will see in a minute. Okay, so this page is my Facebook business page. On this page, you can always find all information about workshops. Right now, I do workshop online. It's already pre-recorded and everything is finished, so you can join anytime. It's $25 workshop. Also, I have video tutorials in a private group. And this page basically explain everything. Also, you can find there every week information about my new lessons that coming. Right now, I make my lessons once a week. It's always at the same time, Thursday at 12 o'clock at noon, standard Central Time in the United States. You're welcome. Welcome. So let's continue, ladies. So from now on, all we do, every row begins with chain 8 and double crochet stitch into the chain of 4, chain below 1. And then you repeat 2, 3, 4, 4 stitches, chain 4, and again double crochet stitch into the chain of 4 below. And again, the same thing. This is very easy and simple. I don't know what I made here. It's not double crochet, that's for sure. It's very easy netting. And for those of you who starting Irish crochet and want simple, easy project, make it faster, I would recommend to go with this netting at first. But how to recognize and identify Irish crochet? You always looking for netting. If you look at antique pieces, all background netting or ground have picots or clones knot stitches. So this is how you basically identify this lace. But there are other laces out there that also have picots, only they are not crocheted, but made by needle. So I don't think that I need to go and crochet continue big piece here. So this is how it will look like. You see? Little piece. This is how it will look like. So now let me cut piece off. This is how you make this netting. Next lesson I will show you next netting. It will be with picots, second ground. Right here I will show you how to make this one. And I will probably show the other one, both of them, so that way we will kill two birds at the same time. And the next part of today's lesson, we will learn how to make footing. The simple footing like that, and like that one. So for the footing, you will need, for both of them, padding cord, and padding cord of any length. I right now just don't really care. I don't need very long piece. I need short piece. Here it is. And I will fold mine in half because it's too fine. So I will have for one footing and for another one. And first we will make first footing. In the book they go by number. And so if you have your book next to you or you use digital book, it will be on the page 38. First footing and second footing. And next lesson I will show you a different footing with scallops. They're also called teeth. I don't know why. No, Elizabeth, you make at first you make motifs and then connect motifs with background netting. Let me show you something in this book. There is a very good page lesson here, right, in this book. Let me go and find it for you. It is on page 26. No, on page 27. Let's go on page 27. But you can read in this book on both pages, page 26, 27, how to connect your motifs with netting. So what you basically need, you will need, like in this book, at the very back, at the very end of the book, you have, let me pick up a piece that we're looking at, like this piece right here. You will need drawing of some sort. If you know what design you will make. So drawing few lines, you can see it's a very simple piece, like can be ruffle to decorate this applique, for example, curtains in a kitchen, right? This is what I want to do just right now for my new home. Some decorate my windows and make Irish crochet appliques for my windows, for curtains. I will sew them and I will make all those decorations. So this will be, for example, that piece I want to do, right? So I will take a piece of fabric on which I will sew my motifs and make an outline. Okay, for example, I will take this book and I will make outline. So this will be for footing and then this wavy footing. But at first, we sew motifs to the fabric. And the second part, we connect all the motifs with netting. And you can see those broken lines here. This is the idea which way you can go, how to make your netting, how to connect. After all this is done, let's come back to this picture because this picture is a little bit better. After all this done, after all your netting is finished, you can see, first of all, a chain is made here at the footing. For the footing, basically, you can use it, right? And then they made and connected all motifs with chain. This part right here, wavy part, if you will look very carefully here, they, let me zoom. They go and make chain and connect with the double or treble crochet stitch to the netting below. Then again they make chain, double or treble crochet to the netting below. This is how they build the edge, or how do I say it? The last row of netting. But it's kind of, you see, it's wavy, and you can see that the distance between those chain sections will be very different. So all you do, you will have to make, you can see the hook here, and they make the chain, and then they connect with or double crochet or treble. You will have to identify for yourself. You will see the size, the distance between that line and the chain below, and connect. This is how you create this edge. And only after that, you will take padding cord and crochet your first row for the footing over the foundation cord and over this chain right here. And then I will show you today how we will make the rest of it. This is, don't, right, at the beginning you have to do everything slowly and start with very small examples of everything they give you here in the book. For example, don't start crochet with this complicated background netting. Do something simpler like I showed you today, and I will show you next lesson. And the same with footing. Footing is, they have three types of footing here in this book. This simple one, then a little bit more complicated, and this very beautiful with, I don't know how they call these pieces, but let's say scallops, right? And I will show you how to do all that too. So at first, for example, I can use this right here, and I will show you how to make the footing that I have here. So for example, I need to make the edge here and decorate this part of my background netting of my finished project. And I will show you two things. I will show you how to do it on the piece of netting and how to make this one just the way it is. So yes, at first you don't make footing first and then attach it to something. No, you at first make your motifs. It's number one, first step. Second step, connect motifs with netting. And then you decorate your lace, the edges of lace. If, for example, this is open, we can do this netting here, footing on this side, on all sides, basically, right here. Okay? So let me first show you how they show it and what they do in the book. Yes, Elizabeth, the footing is always made with the same thread as background netting. Motifs are always made with a thicker thread, and netting and footings and decorative edges like with scallops are made with the same thread, number 100 or 80, the same thread as you use for background netting. Okay, so for the first footing, we will need, let me look at the book, what they want. So the first footing, we will make single crochet stitches over a single foundation cord. So pick up your foundation cord. I have my cord folded in half. And let's assume I will use this and act like if it is just one single cord. And around this padding cord, we will crochet single crochet stitches. So first stitch, it's our connecting stitch to start. And I just show like this. You go under the padding cord, grab the thread, bring it from under the cord and make a stitch. It's secured now, and now you connect crochet single crochet stitches around the padding cord. And it doesn't matter how many of them you do. As many as you need, because when you do the edges, we never count them. You will use very fine crochet hook, like the finest is 0.35 millimeters. You can use hook with thread number 100. You can use hook 0.4, 0.45, or 0.5 millimeters. I personally use 0.35 or 0.4 millimeters hooks for my netting. So for the first footing, you take your padding cord and crochet around this single crochet stitches like that. So I'm making sample, and I would recommend you also just take a piece of thread for the padding cord, just like this. It will look kind of silly, but I will show you how to do the same on this piece. But right now we will just practice and make first footing on its own, just to know what it is and how to make it. So you crocheted your single crochet stitches around the padding cord. Next step, second row, we will have to make, they start from the with a treble or double crochet stitch on the first stitch of this padding cord. So let's turn. I cannot, of course, make first double crochet stitch without making 3 stitches here, right? Chain 3, and then I can make my, I will skip 1 stitch and I will make into the next one, like this. And after this is the beginning. After that, we will have to make chain 2, skip 2 stitches right here at the bottom, 1, 2, chain 2, then skip 2 stitches at the bottom, 1, 2, and into the third stitch make your double crochet stitch, like this. Actually, here at the beginning, to make the same distance, let me just redo it. Instead of chain 3, it's for the height of the double crochet, I will make 4. And then skip 1, 2, right here. This will be correct. It all depends, actually not even 4, but 5. 5 stitches. Chain 5, it's at the beginning. And then 1, 2, skip. And make a double crochet stitch here. Just to be precise. So you will have that little square here. And then just crochet all the way, the same way. I made this footing in my potpourri pillow project, and it's free. You can find this project in my YouTube channel. And again, 1, 2, chain 2, and double crochet into the 1, 2, skip 2, into the third stitch. And you crochet this way, all the way, all the way. Now, look at this stitch right here. This is unacceptable in Irish crochet, so I have to undo it. It's hanging here, that stitch, so we have to be make tight uniform stitches that nothing will show anything anywhere. Like this, see? Nice and neat. Again, chain 2, again 1, 2, into the third stitch. And again 1, 2, chain 2, skip 2, into the third double crochet. So this is how you make your first footing. It's the simplest footing. I would love to show you my project that I was just talking about, this potpourri pillow, but I am packing because we're moving and I cannot find where is that box. But you can find the project, and if you want I can share with you the link to that project. There's a it's in a YouTube channel. So here it is, first footing. This is but just on its own like this. And let me show you how to do the same thing, but just decorate this piece. So let's say we want to decorate the edges and here. How we do that? So I will go and decorate a corner like this. I will need, of course, padding cord. Always, all edges in Irish crochet, always not just crochet around those around the edge, your single crochet stitches, but you must add padding cord. So let's do that. So here's the edge I will decorate. I will pick up my padding cord, my thread, and I'll just start from here. Just for the sake of time, it's a sample piece. So I will just attach my thread, and what I will do, I will go and crochet single crochet stitches around the edge and around the padding cord or foundation cord. And again, I do not count how many single crochet stitches I make here, just to fit them into this edge chain. So here is kind of, probably I can fit 2 stitches. So I don't count, I will just make 2 and then I will see how it will look like. To make, the reason, sometimes people ask me, what is the reason for the adding the padding cord to the edge? I can just make a nice beautiful edge without padding cord, right? The reason is, I will show you in a minute. I will crochet a small piece and then you will see. So here, the reason is that it will be wavy, it's not going to be really straight and nice, but you can take this padding cord, pull on it, and kind of make it straight. I think I made a little bit too many stitches here. Let me undo this. Too many of them. So you use your padding cord, kind of straighten the edge and make it more, few things. Bring to the work this 3D effect. Make it more textured. And guide your work and make your work look more pronounced, neat, nice looking. So once in a while I will stop and pull on a padding cord to make it all look nice and neat. As you can see, I'm just making single crochet stitches to fit them here, where the sometimes I go right pokes through the place where the double crochet was connected. And now I'm in the corner. Corner is also kind of interesting place. So at first I will make sure that my edge right here is nice and straight. And by the way, if it's not too straight at first, you can always take iron and iron that piece, make it straight. So you see it's straight and neat, so the padding cord kind of helped me when I pull on it a little bit. It makes my stitches snug together and stay uniform, and the edge will look nice and beautiful. And so in the corner we do the same thing. We go and crochet around this corner, single crochet stitches, and then I will go back. I'll show you how it will look like. Here's that corner. If you want it as a corner around it, it does not matter. It's up to you. And then I continue crochet around the other edge. I will not crochet all the way to the end. I will show just small piece and how to make beautiful corners with footing. Also, I would suggest to go where the stitch is, double crochet, go through, poke through that stitch, and crochet single crochet stitch there. It will look way better than skip it. So again, we will crochet a little bit, and I will go back. So again, I get to the place where the stitch is. I will poke through the stitch. This way you don't see, you can try and see not to do that and see how it will look like. It will not look the same. It will look very nice and neat when you do this. So let me just make a few more stitches and then I will go back to show you how to. So I will stop here. Like that. And let's continue our footing by doing this. Now we don't need padding cord anymore. Drop it, turn your work. And now we will make our decorative edge. Here in the corners you have to be very careful about if we skip in 2 stitches. I would find the stitch right there, which stitch you will use as the corner stitch, like this, right? And from that stitch you will have to do a very not the pleasant work, count stitches. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Remember we were skipping, so I'm counting the right place where I can start this. Okay, I will make my next stitch. I will be fine. I will skip 1 2 and I will make my first double crochet right into the 3rd stitch. Okay, so I'm doing good here. Of course, you probably don't need to count, because if you will skip, when you crochet with very fine thread, like thread number 100, no one will count those stitches. No one will see the distance between stitches too. So if you will skip 2 stitches or 1 or 3, it will not be a very big deal. So let's go 1 2 3 4 5 at the beginning. For my stitch 1 2 3 into the 3rd stitch, double crochet. Again 1 2, skip 2, 1 2 into the 3rd stitch. And continue 1 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 2 into the 3rd. If I'm going too fast, you can tell me to stop and repeat or explain better. 1 2 into the 3rd. Здравствуйте, Надя. To all English speaking, I sometimes will say hello to my Russian friends here. because my videos are watched in other countries. I think Nadezhda is from Belarus, as I remember. Okay, so I'm coming closer to the corner here. So I will skip. So in the corner, it's kind of, you have to be very also careful about how you decorate the corner. 1, 2, we'll make our 1, 2, skip 1, 2, and into the third stitch, right into the corner, like this. Now, we need a corner, right? So let me show you on the picture, on the drawing. So here we have our corner, and we make our stitch that looks, all of them were straight, right? Here's our edge. Now in the corner here, next will be supposed to go, next side will also look like this. What we do here? So we do here 2 stitches again, 2 stitches, 2 stitches, chain 2, chain 2. But we have also to make 1 stitch that goes this stitch, next stitch, and this stitch will be made in that corner, in the corner stitch. Okay, this is only when you will have this beautiful corner. You also can do here treble crochet instead of double. Let's see what will happen. So 1, 2, and let me do treble crochet into the same stitch right here where I made my last double. I'll make treble. 1, 2, 3, and one more. 1, 2, chain 2, and this time double crochet stitch again into the same stitch, into the same stitch. So like so. And then continue the same edge, the other edge with the same pattern. 1, 2, this time 1, 2, skip, third stitch. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. And so I will not go and continue, you already got the idea. So here it is, like this. Those edges you can finish also again at the end when you will crochet an entire piece. For example, this will be your piece. So you will go and crochet all this first row over the padding cord and single crochet stitches, our first row. Then you will turn your work and go and crochet those arches. And then again, at the very end, you can pick up padding cord and crochet only single crochet stitches right around it. And a very good idea too, let me show you with a different thread. Okay, I found something that, just a second. I don't have ribbon with me next to me, but one of my projects that I told you, the potpourri pillow, is decorated with a ribbon at the very end. And this is how you do that. You'll just pick up ribbon. At first you begin adding it into the corner. And you can find very tiny ribbons that are very fine and small to fit inside those holes. You can crochet a tassel or whatever, and you just pick up the ribbon and move it through those. Move through the openings right here in the footing. That's how you do that, and it looks really beautiful. You can decorate this way. Neckline in the clothing, if you make, like for example, top, and you will want to decorate your neckline or even armholes or the edge of the dress or whatever it is you're making. Pick up ribbon and decorate this way, or even if not a ribbon, just like I took right now, a yarn. Take something with metallic thread, something that will give you a little decor, more festive. So this is how it will look like if you will add through those little openings. And you can go and do this not every other time, but skip like 2 pieces here. It's up to you. This is how it will look like. Really interesting, right? So, do you have questions about this footing, first footing, how to make it? I just showed you on the samples how to decorate those kind of stuff. You see, this is a corner of the work. Now I will show you how to crochet second footing. So let's do this one too. Let me put away whatever I don't need here. And for the second footing, we will need, just to begin with, chain stitches at first. Then we will turn around, and into the chain we will make sections like that. We will make chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, and we will crochet all the way to the end. Now again we will turn, and we will add to the edge of our work padding cord and make single crochet stitches. Then again we will turn, and we will make again chain 1, double crochet stitch into the place where we had double crochet before. So basically we'll make double crochet stitches into the footing, or stitches, single crochet stitches of the second row. So let's do this one. It's also very easy, it's very simple, but I need also prepare for this piece, prepare padding cord. Cut thread for the padding cord, your foundation cord, whatever you call it. In the book it's called foundation cord. In French and in Russian they call it bourdon. Okay, but first we will make just chain stitches. Any amount of chain stitches you need for your project. So I'm not counting again, I'm just making a chain. And I will make small piece so that we have enough time to learn how to make this footing. So this piece, okay, we'll go through this. So first we will make chain, just any amount of chain stitches. After that, first row, we have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say, and into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, into the 6th stitch here, into the 6th stitch, make double crochet. After that, we make chain 1, skip 1, at the bottom in a chain, skip 1, and make double crochet into the next stitch. And you repeat this: chain 1, skip 1 on the chain, double crochet into the next chain. And again, the same rule to follow. When you insert the hook into the chain, pick up 2 loops of the hook, 2 loops of the stitch, otherwise it will be stretched. And again, chain 1, skip 1 on a chain, double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip on a chain stitch, double crochet into the next. Chain 1, double crochet. Oops, I didn't skip stitch, I think. Yep, I didn't. Oh my god, I don't know what I did here. My chain is not very good. This is what I see. Chain 1, skip 1 right here. And the problem is that my chain wasn't made very good and precisely. It wasn't very good chain. I'm not going to undo it, but you know how I am. Sometimes I'm too picky. Skip 1. When you do your chains, your first chain is very important. All your stitches must be the same, very neatly crocheted. Try to make your chain stitches the same size. This is why when you make it, your first chain, don't be in a hurry. And again. It's easier here, you don't have to undo last stitches. I actually, I think I have, well, I can undo this one, I don't need this. So if you see that you have extra stitch, I always recommend to make longer chain. It's always easier to undo stitches at the end. And that's it. That's all. Now, so we made our first row. First row. After this, turn your work like this. Add padding cord, a foundation cord right here. And crochet around. Which is the first thing I will do. I will insert my hook under the first chain, hang on the hook my padding cord because it's folded in half, and make my first stitch. And next row, the second row, how they do it by the book. We're going by the book. You crochet 2 single crochet stitches in each arch where the stitch was made, where the chain 1. So I made my first 2 stitches over the padding cord and continue the same way. 2 single crochet stitches into each arch where chain 1 was. One, 2, you see? Again, 1, 2. Make sure your stitches are nice and tight and uniform, the same size. It's very important. And don't forget, you crochet over the padding cord. And again, you will have a long piece. When you will crochet some big pieces, your stitches on the back padding cord will kind of come out. So what I will recommend, once in a while, not when it's very long piece, but 10 stitches, you stop and make sure that your padding cord is not shown here anywhere, and stitches look nice and neat. And this is not twisting. This padding cord will help you to keep your work straight here and neat and uniform. I love to use my padding cord when I, for example, crochet, and I will show it to you. For example, when I make outfit, let's say we have top, and you crochet all netting, everything. It's very different crochet netting and decorate the edges of the work, like neckline and armholes. You have to be very precise. You want them to be a good size, not stretched. This is when the adding padding cord is very helpful for neckline and for the armholes. You just add padding cord and go with single crochet stitches around your armhole and neckline. Just make one row of single crochet stitches, and then you can, when you try it on a mannequin or on a person you make it for, and pull on a padding cord to make it look just precise. Okay, so second row, single crochet stitches over the padding cord and over this edge. 2 single crochet stitches in each little arch. And you know that each arch was made by chain 1. And at the end, so sometimes it's going to behave kind of funny. So make sure that your stitches are not showing, not the stitches, but the padding cord is not shown between stitches, and everything look neat. Now, after that, the third row for this footing, for the second footing. Now you drop your padding cord, turn your work, and make chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, double crochet, skip 2, skip 1, and right into that place where the stitch was. So again, chain 1, skip 1, skip 1, and here. You can also go right into that place where the it's probably easier, and because it's more pronounced here, you can see where the stitch was, like this. Did I make chain 1 here? I probably didn't. No wonder it looks funny. Double crochet right here. Again, chain 1, and double crochet. So skip one stitch and go into the next. So third row is like the same you make as your first row. And this is how you create your second footing. Chain one, skip one, double crochet into the next stitch. Chain one, skip one on the second row and go into the next stitch with double crochet. Chain one, skip one into the next stitch, and so on to the very end, to the end of your row. When you will decorate with fine thread, I will recommend you to use, of course, your magnifying glass or magnifying glasses so that you could see where you're going with this. So that's it. This is how you make second footing. This is how it will look like. And exactly the same way, just like I did here, right? With the first footing, you can make exactly the same way the footing for your work for the edge. This one, of course, you could see you can right away make double crochet. I'm sorry, the row of single crochet stitches over the padding cord, then footing, then again add, and the end, then another row. So you will have 3 rows, or even 4. What I'm saying, 4. Okay, so that instead, let's try this piece. Just for small piece right here, it will be interesting to see. Again, pick up small piece of padding cord, and we will make one little corner or whatever we will make here. Let's see how it will look like. It's always fun to see practice with a small project, not just making samples like that, but small project. Small project can be your decorate pocket for your jacket, jeans jacket. That will be a small project to begin. So we add padding cord together with thread. And let's make stitches. So first row, of course, will be like that. And I, of course, showing together with the corners. With the, so that you could see how to look like in the corner. Because you will have corners. You will have to learn how to work with them. I see somebody asking questions. It's just comments. Pakui, hello. Hello. As I understand you from France or Italy? I don't understand what you said. And somebody from Egypt. Mona, hello. Welcome, ladies. We're almost at the end. You'll have to watch this lesson in recording. So here in this corner, I have actually too much going on. I have thread from that I added thread, and also I will cut this off. And also I have thread in the corner that was the beginning of my netting. So I will not cut that, so be careful always with this kind of places in your work so that you will not unravel anything. Now again, I'm in the corner. In the corner, make sure that your stitches are nice, laid together tight next to each other, that you can easily create that corner. If it is the corner, because sometimes you don't need to have corners, your corner can be more rounded, so it's not important. But sometimes you need to learn how to do all of this. And you can always fix it later. At first it will not probably look nice. So now I will take this little short piece and cut it off because it's on the way. So what we're trying to do right now, ladies, those who just joined, we learned today how to make the simplest background netting. Honeycomb, like this. And we're also learning how to make footings, edges. First footing, and we learned how to crochet second footing, like this. And now I'm showing how to make the second footing on the edge right here of the piece of work. So I will go and decorate this little corner. Let's see how it will look like. I will drop my piece right now. And I will go and start making that edge. So as you notice, we were not using right here, we didn't use padding cord at the beginning, just foundation chain, but we're at the edge of the work. So how do I do that? It will be kind of a little bit different, but the second row is the same. So again, we're doing right now I'm making our chain one, skip one on a chain, but we do it on this edge and make double crochet into the second stitch. So chain one, skip one on the bottom here, double crochet. And now I am in the corner. Remember how we did corners. You go into the same stitch, making in the corner 3 stitches, double crochet stitches in the same spot. So you go like this all the way to the end. And then the second row will be, we will add padding cord again, and then without padding cord. Like this. So now, after that, we again have to pick up padding cord. I will get, just a second, I don't have extras. I don't have extra. Hold on a minute. I have to find somewhere thread from the other side of my ball. And I will need 2 pieces, so I cut enough here. So if you will use, of course, thicker thread, it will be different. You need only 1 strand or 2 strands. Again, it's all very personal with padding cord here. So at the edge, this edge is different. Which pattern we're talking about? Renee, you wrote something I missed. Okay, so I attached now my padding cord and making 2 single crochet stitches into each arch, into each spot, each opening where the chain 1 was. We make 2 single crochet stitches also over the padding cord. So you just have to be very patient. It's repetitive work, but it's fun to make. The edges of your finished product will always something to look for, because this indicates that you're finishing your project. You're finishing your project and you can later be proud of it. Now, in the corners here, one more advice for you, how to make your corner more pronounced if it is straight corner, right? I would make my stitch. So I have 2 stitches where the, right in here where the chain was, and I will make 1 single crochet right where the corner stitch is, this right here in the middle. Extra stitch that is not really needed, but to make your corner beautiful, you can do that like this. Like this. Now you can go into the arch. Some of you will probably ask what to do with all those pieces of padding cord, right? That hanging right now. I used this and then I added another one. I would suggest, if you follow the book and you use only 1 strand, 1 single foundation cord, just simply tie together. When you will crochet, you will not, they will hang like that sometimes. I would just pick up needle and weave in inside, later inside those stitches, so that you will not unravel anything. It's kind of, you know, some people don't do that, but I always weave in my padding cord also inside the stitches, inside where the padding cord was, okay? So I'm made my, where's that second footing? So we made right now what I'm making this middle part. This is how it look like, see? It looks really neat. And now we're going back, dropping our padding cord like this, turn your work, and this time we make exactly the same edge like here, the same way. So at the beginning, if you need to turn, you make your stitches 1, 2, 3, and 4. then skip one, go into the next stitch, and continue this way. Chain one, skip one, go into the next. Chain one, skip one, go into the next stitch. Chain one, and be very precise when you do that, because it's very easy to go into a different stitch. So this is why I always tell use magnifying glass to see your work. That will look nice and neat. Now we go and remember we made here, we can skip two because we have this stitch in a corner. Again, we're making in the same stitch, the same 3 stitches in the corner. Again, last stitch in the same spot, because we're creating corners here. And continue the same way. Of course, this is very unusual edge, and I really didn't see the way it's that it's made this way with this edge. I just shown it to you because it is in the book, and if you want to decorate with this edge something, this is how you do it. But I wouldn't recommend to leave like this. It looks really interesting, looks very beautiful, but I would add, of course, some kind of scallops to it. This edge is kind of strange to me. I don't know what else, what is the other idea for this edge in the book. I didn't see them using it. But, you know, you can be creative and figure out how to use this kind of stuff. For example, if you will use this edge second, right, second footing, then you probably can use decorative thread or ribbon on the very edge or right here. Just an idea for you how to decorate your finished work. So starting with this week, with today, the rest of the lessons are going to be on background netting, on different kinds of background netting in Irish crochet. We will continue with this book until we finish all elements. This is it. This is how it will look like. So I showed you today how to make decorative edges, or we call them footing, and how to actually they look like when they add it to the netting. So I would advise you to look at some antique works, look on the internet, and look or on my Facebook page. I have plenty of pages. I have an album. You can go and look and see how it's done, how they decorated back then, their work, their finished pieces, how they all look like. So it's all for today. I would like to hear from you, your questions, your propositions, what next we will do. And this is kind of a good part lesson for make pictures and make a book and show how those things are looking like. I know that in some books they show pictures with thread. This is what I'm doing right now. They cut thread and they just show a small portion of work. This is what it looked like. In some old antique books, they will show pictures of small parts of work. So, ladies, I would love to crochet with you that purse. Oh, which purse? The purse that I made with roses. This one, Renee? Oh, okay, I see. You showed the... I'm not sure if I have this book. Do you have... If you have... can you send me this book, the name and a page on my Facebook page message? Or I think we're friends, and if you just send me a message with this book, I will look for it. And if you have a picture of it, will be great to have. So, because what will happen, I will finish this video, and the comments that you commenting, I'm not sure how to get to them again. So this comment that you made right now, I don't have way of saving it. So please send me a message on Facebook, so that way I will see what person you're talking about, okay? It's from Antique Library. Let me just right now, hold on a second. I will copy while it's like that. And I will see if I can open it. Okay, it's saved. I'll look for it, okay? But I will appreciate if you will also send me a message and a picture of this. Just snap it with your phone and send me a picture in the messenger. Okay, ladies, this is all for today. Next lesson. Let's talk about next lesson. As I told you before, I'm moving to a new home, and next lesson is supposed to be January 28th. And I hope we can have that lesson. I think I can make that lesson on January 28th at 12 o'clock. But then the February lesson, which is supposed to be February 4, I'm not sure I will be able to do that, because I'm going to move to a new home. I'm not sure if that day will work. So for now, we're just planning for January 28th at 12 o'clock, our next lesson. And then I will see. And in February, I will broadcast from my new home and from new studio, which will be, yay, great. Okay, ladies, that's it for today. I wish you wonderful the rest of the week. Nice weekend. Crochet. Enjoy crochet, enjoy lessons. And one more thing I promised, and I forgot to tell, post that. We were talking, I believe Elizabeth asked, about the project, a potpourri pillow. Yeah, here it is. This is a playlist. If you go to my playlists, you can find it there. And what I'm going to do, I will just grab a copy of the first lesson, and you can see the rest of them. So here is for you, in comments, my last comment. It's a video, first lesson, how to start potpourri pillow project. This project will show you how to sew motifs onto the fabric, how to start background netting, how to crochet edges, similar edges we did today, how to work in the corners, and how to make different edges that I didn't show today. But go ahead and find this project. There are more photos there. I believe I share with you an entire playlist. If you cannot, and it will, I believe it will play one video after another. There are 10 or 11 videos, I believe. So, okay. So there for you a lesson if you want to learn how to apply what we learned today in a small project. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. That's all. Goodbye. You're welcome, Elizabeth.